cakey or bloom, guess what? It's a spike. See? Finally. It's a miniature fall. You know, I grow my orchids on almost all of them on Spagna Moss from me. This one, the reason the leaves is like that because this is when I left it outside last spring, and that's what happened with that. But there's a new leaf, so anyway, right there. But that's how I grow my orchids. I don't clean it up. If it gets really bad, then I would clean it up. But the last time I did that, I had a couple that started rotting away and then ended up dying. So that's why I want to do that. I don't want to do that anymore. If the moss is really smushy and really old, that's when I need to change the miniature fall. I'm worried about this one because when I bought this, it was a miniature fall. But now look how big it is. It doesn't look like it's a miniature anymore. And it's got a spike. See? It's got a spike. Isn't that beautiful? Look at all the roots on this thing. Lots of roots. I just want to warn you that I just watered my orchids because we're getting ready to go tomorrow on a 7-day camping, and I won't be able to water these guys, so that's why I watered them ahead of time. That way when I come back, they're not so dehydrated. And then, but anyway, I have this orchid. Look at this bloom. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah. Beautiful. And look where it's coming out. It's right here instead of on the side. Something is bulging in there, but it's probably a root. And here's another one. This is all Spagna Moss. This one, I'm not sure what happened to that one. It looks like it burned. It's probably from when I put him outside. But look at you already seen this one too. Nothing else is happening with these orchids, but it's got a bottom so that because it hangs, when I water it, it doesn't drip on other orchids. really pretty. I can't wait to see this one. Can't wait to see what it looks like. I rescued some of these. It's already dark, and I can tell that their flower is also dark. And so anyway, so that concludes my update, you guys, and thank you for watching. And I hope that you enjoy it. Don't forget to click likes, subscribe. Please leave me comments. Those are so important to me, and I will respond to you as soon as I can. So be very safe out there. God bless. Take care of yourself. Love you guys. Life is too short. Enjoy every moment of it. Okay? Thank you. Signing off.